Hi there, Mr. Brian here. Hope you're doing okay. Hope you're having a great day. And if you're not, I pray that God grants you the strength that you need to keep on going. And I pray that may His blessings be upon you today. I just want to share a few words of encouragement and motivation your way. And I really hope that it goes a long way to help you out, to give you some perspective on how to tackle on some certain things that may be holding you back from making progress in your life. And what I would love to talk about today is on the topic, the 6 components of belief. And I really hope that it goes a long way to, renew your belief again in yourself and in the process that you've taken to really change your life. Recently, I found myself in this state of, wandering, and I just couldn't even get out of my own head. I was feeling stuck. I was feeling, just a little bit depressed and down. And for some reasons, I couldn't even understand why. I tried to, look around to see what is it that I was doing wrong. What are some of the things that I haven't completed? Because, sometimes the promises that we make to ourselves are the things that are keeping us stuck, are the things that always keep us back in our head. When you look at your to-do list, all those things you said, I'll do them, and you go back and you see that you have really not done all. It weighs on you. So I was looking at all those things and wondering, which of these things is actually causing me this problem? Why am I feeling stuck, and why am I, in this state? Yeah. So then I came to understand that in life, some things will happen which are literally out of your control. But it's how you react, how you process it, how you decide to move forward that really matters. And I've been in this state for quite some time now. I think almost 2 weeks. One of the reasons why I've not even been able to upload a video, because I believe that there is no point in me to go out there and share a message when I do not, I do not understand. If I don't understand the message, I will not be able to share that message. It's not just about making videos and recording and putting it online. It's about understanding the things I say, making sure that I've actually moved from those things that are holding me back, so that I can encourage someone who may be in a similar state and looking for a way out of their situation. And so it came to me this morning, the message that I want to share with you, which is the 6 components of belief. It came to me this morning when I sat down after meditation, and I was thinking why am I in this place, and what is really the meaning of belief? Because I found myself in a state where I was questioning some of my beliefs. So I was asking myself, what do I truly mean when I say I believe in this, and I believe in that, I believe in that? And this message came to me, the 6 components of belief that I want to share with you today. And in no particular order, I'll just give them to you. The very first one is sacrifice. Belief, sometimes we just throw out the word believe, but when you really sit and ask yourself, what does it mean to believe? You'll find out that these 6 components are embedded in those words. And to even use an example, I will turn to a Bible verse that most of us are familiar with, I think as Christians. And if you're not, it's John 3:16. It says, "For God so loved the world that He gave His only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in Him will not perish but have everlasting life." It sounds so simple, if you believe in Jesus Christ, you will not perish but have everlasting life. And most of us just think that believe, the word means to believe, to know that, or to be in a state of expectancy, to know that it's going to happen for you. Yeah, that could be one of it. And then I was thinking about that, and I saw sacrifice in the verse. God sent His Son, Jesus Christ, to die for us. That's a big sacrifice. He is sacrificing His own Son to wash away our sins. And Jesus Christ is sacrificing His life to save us all. And so when we say believe, it means you have to make sacrifices. What are the sacrifices that you are making to get your life in order? What are the sacrifices you're making to get to the point where you want to be? What are the things that you're giving up? Sometimes life will test us to see whether you are actually making those sacrifices, those things that you said you've moved away from, whether you've actually moved away from. And it's not that life is testing you for you to fall, or life is testing you because it doesn't want you to make progress. It's because it wants you to actually know what you mean when you say those words. The tongue is very powerful, and we have to really understand that when we say that I quit this thing, I do not want to do this thing anymore, I don't want to do that thing anymore, you have to really mean it, and you have to know what it means when you say I don't want to do this anymore, or I'm making a sacrifice in my life to be able to move to this direction. It's never going to happen for us if we keep going back and forth. If you want a spiritual life, there are things that you must be able to sacrifice. You must sacrifice them to have that spiritual life. It's not about going to pray and then tomorrow you find yourself back doing all those other things that are not even going to boost your spiritual self. So what sacrifices are we making? What are the things that we are sacrificing to get to the point where we want to be? The goals that you've written for yourself, what are those sacrifices? Because it will not happen just like that for us. Because to get to where we want to be, we literally have to become somebody else. And how do you become somebody else if you're not making sacrifices? What is the old self that you're shedding off so that you can become that new you, that great person that lives within you? So sacrifice is the very first one, and I'll just turn to my notes here for the other one. The next one is to have faith. To have faith. What does it mean to have faith? That whosoever believeth him shall not perish but have everlasting life. Believe means to have faith, and to have faith means that you need to give yourself to it. You need to know that it is there for you. You do not have to question it. And if God says, my son, my daughter, I'm going to give this to you, you have to have faith that God has already done to you. It's a promise, and it's not something that you have to start worrying and going and thinking about how it's going to be. Because when we don't have faith, we don't see how we tend to focus on how is it going to happen for us. If God says, oh my son, I'm going to make you a billionaire, I'm going to make you a millionaire, I'm going to make you this great person, sometimes we are wondering but this is just me, how am I going to become this person where God has said I'm going to be? And we are thinking of trying to control the process. Having faith is giving yourself to the process and giving yourself to God, and trusting him with all your heart, and believing that he will do it for you. And having faith is something that is very essential. You have to have faith in God. You have to have faith in yourself. You have to be certain within yourself that you are able to do this thing, and you will become that thing that God has said you're going to become. So when you have faith, you will be able to really raise your consciousness to that level where you can start reaching the potential that you have and start achieving those goals for yourself. The next point is we have to be patient. Believing means patience. We most often want things to come quickly. We just want it there and there. If I put in 1 hour, I should get a 1 hour output as soon as possible. We want it ASAP. But the message for us today is to be patient, not only with the process, but be patient with yourself, because lack of patience is really going to lead you to turning away to other things that are not even for you. And patience is one of the messages I've always received in my life while growing up. My parents used to say this a lot to me, you have to be patient, you have to be patient. I used to feel very, very bad that I wasn't in certain positions that I used to find my friends in. Sometimes my friends used to go when my friends were in the university, and and I was trying to set up a business, trying to figure out how to make money. But I really wanted to go to university and all that. And the message for me was that time was, you have to be patient, because the path that you're on is not the path that the other person is on. We all have our own paths to walk, and when you start turning your mind and looking at someone else's path, then you lose patience with yourself and with your own process, and then you don't even believe anymore, and then you don't have faith anymore, and then you start struggling, you start fighting with yourself, you start wondering if it's possible. I want to let you know that it's possible. It's more than possible. It is a done deal. It is already done. And so you just have to be patient with yourself, and you have to understand that this is your own life that you have to live, and these are the things that you have to give up. Don't look at the fact that your friends have those things and you do not have. Those things are not for you, and if they were for you, God is definitely going to find a way to put them in your path so that you get them. So enjoy all what you have and be patient with yourself, because when you're patient with yourself, you can think clearly, you can understand what you're doing, you can give yourself more to the process, you can give yourself more to the work, you can really find out the best solutions to move you from where you are to get to where you want to be. So be patient, which is the third thing. The fourth component on my list here is to have trust. You have to completely trust the process. You have to completely trust yourself. We want to be so many things and we want to do a lot, but at a certain point we may lack trust. We may feel that it's not going to happen because maybe we are facing a challenge that we do not have a solution at hand, and so we lose trust. So you have to trust yourself completely. You have to trust what you are doing. You have to trust your own plans, that your plans will get you to where you want to go, because those plans don't just come as a mistake or anything. They come to you because that is the process you have to go through to figure it out. You don't figure it out at one go. You figure it out by trying and trying. And everything that you are doing, you always have to make sure that you trust in yourself, because there is no one else who is going to figure it out for you other than yourself. So you have to trust in your thought process. You have to trust in the things that you do. You have to trust in the kind of friends that you are going to bring around yourself, because when you lose trust, you are not able to give yourself to the process. You're not able to commit to anything when you don't have trust. So trust yourself again to make the right decision. Trust yourself again to get you out of the situation that you are in. The fifth one on the list, the fifth one on the list is be persistent. We need to be persistent. We need to be persistent in doing what we have to do. Sometimes when we meet with setbacks, when we meet with trials, we tend to give up. We tend to forget that we have to keep on going. You have to persist through your failures. If you try something out and it does not work, you have to go again. Find out a new way and try it out. If you try something else and it does not work, keep going. Look at Thomas A. Edison. They say he failed 10,000 times before he found out a solution to make the light bulb work. So how much have you persisted? And how much are you going to persist until you find out what you want for yourself? Are you going to stop because you're facing through small trials now? Are you going to stop because you're not being able to find a solution now? So you need to be persistent. You need to keep on going and going and going, because it's only when we keep on running the race that we actually get to the finish line. If you stop in the middle, then you won't win the race. You won't get over the finish line. And sometimes it's not even about being known as the winner. It's just about getting that fulfillment that you've been able to accomplish something that you set out to do. And that is the greatest thing that one can ever have. That's the greatest happiness that we can ever have. When you set a task for yourself, you set a goal for yourself, and you see yourself push through every single trial and temptation that comes your way to achieve that goal. So I want you to know that you have to persist. You have to continue going. You have to continue pushing yourself, like, because no one else will. No one else will. You know the situation that you are in, and you know how things are already unfolding for you. So continue persisting. Continue going. Even no one does anything for you, keep going. Do what you can every day. Try to do 1% better every day. Just keep going, keep going, keep going. And as you're going forward, things will become clearer for you. As you keep on trying to get out of the situation, things will become clearer for you. Don't only say there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Get out of that dark situation that you are in and walk towards that light. That is how you meet the light. The light is there as a signal to let you know that there is a path ahead. There is a way out of that situation. And so you have to walk towards the light to get out of that situation. So be persistent and start walking today. The seed component of belief is to do the work. We say we believe. I believe that I'm going to be this. I believe that God came for me. I believe that this happened. I believe. We throw belief around as if it's just some word that we ought to play with. But belief really means a lot. And if you take some time out to really sit back with yourself and try to understand what you mean when you say you believe in the things that you say you believe in. To do the work is one of the most important parts or components of belief, because without doing the work, then you truly do not believe. Believe doesn't mean to say that I believe, then you sit back and wait for things to unfold. The fact that the dream, the vision, everything was given to you, it means that you have to do the work. And what work are you doing to make sure that you move from where you are now to get to where you want to be? What work are you putting yourself through to make sure that you do it? What work has been given to you and you are putting it off? You have to do the work. Jesus Christ came, even though after accepting that Christ that I'm going to, die for the human race. He still came in here and he did the work. He preached the messages from right when he was a child to even when he was on the cross. He still preached. Even when they were nailing him, he still preached the message. He still did the work. He did all that he had to do, and when he died on the cross, he said it is finished. So what work have you done when you're being nailed on the cross was it is finished? What work are you going to do to say that you've done the work and it's finished? It's time to go and rest with the Father. It's time for me to avail of your benefits. It's time for me to receive. What work have you done to receive? So you have to do the work. You have to remind yourself every single day that you need to keep going. This always takes me back to one of my best quotes in life. It says, liberation will lie in exertion. Work is the reward, and the reward is in the work. You cannot be liberated if you have not been oppressed. And everything that is holding you right now, everything that is making you oppressed right now, is what is going to bring your liberation. But the reward lies in the work, and the work is the reward. So you have to do the work. You have to commit yourself to doing the work every single day. If you want spiritual enlightenment, you have to pray every day. You have to meditate every day. You have to have your spiritual companion, your book. What are you feeding yourself with? How are you churning yourself? How are you chiseling yourself to become that new you? What is the work you're doing to upgrade yourself? What is the work you're doing to get to that place where you want to be? You have to commit to the work. You have to do it. And so I hope that this goes a long way to really help you out, to give you some perspective on how to come out of that dark situation. And it just gives you something to reflect about, something to think about. Because we are all we have. We are all we have, though sometimes we may tend to deny the fact that or we may tend to pretend as if there are no other humans here on earth, and we always tend to get to be selfish and think all about us, but we are all we have, so we need to be there for each other. I know sometimes you feel relief. The relief comes when you try to put yourself in a position so that you can elevate someone else. Don't always look for people who are going to elevate you. Try to look for how you can elevate people. There are experiences that you've gone through. Share them with people. There are people who are willing to listen. If you share them with me, I know for a fact that I will be able to take something out of it that will benefit me. So share your experience. Go out there and try to motivate someone. Go out there and try to be inspirational to someone. Go out there and try to push someone forward. Give a helping hand to someone. It's not necessarily about giving them material things, but just being there for them, talking to them. Because where you are now is because of all the things that you've heard, all the things that you've put in your mind, the things that have been said to you. The way you interpret things is the level of reasoning that you've been able to attain. And how do you attain that reasoning? We've gone through schools and teachers have taught us how to think, how to look at things. The perceptions that we have are really based on the things that we have put in our head, and all these things that we put in our head come from other people. The books you read, everything is coming from other people. So you have to start finding a way to also be that for other people. Try as much as possible to inspire someone. Try as much as possible to push someone. Try as much as possible to elevate yourself. I hope that you take something out of this, and my prayer for you is that God helps you out of the situation that you're in. My prayer for you is that you continue believing. We've looked at the 6 components of belief today. The first is to have faith, to make sacrifices, to do the work, to be patient, to trust, and to persist. So believe, trust, persist. Keep going. Don't stop for any reason, and watch your life change. Thank you.